Developing news concerning Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of the IPOB. Today is 4th of July, 2026, and we are bringing you an update, a kind of breaking news that Nnamdi Kanu has been freed from Sokoto prison. And the facts still remain that what we are hearing that the security within the Sokoto prison have been briefed, and were fortified for that mission to Abuja. And one of the things you need to know about this development is that the pressure did not just start today. There's a lot of pressure from the Congress. There's a lot of pressure from the international community. There's a lot of pressure from DOS, EU, and all the rest of them. But now the whole thing has been centered on the issue of interventions by powerful leaders around the world. That's how powerful Nnamdi Kanu has become. The process is this: trying to bring to you that Omotosho has finally been nailed completely, and he is definitely going to be brought to book to explain the law and how he invoked a non-existent law to sentence Nnamdi Kanu to that unfortunate, judgment. But let me just give you an insight of what actually transpired in that led to the breaking news as of now. The coalition of human rights organizations, dedicated to prisoners. This is a world body, factored by the United Nations and other relevant agencies, has stepped in and on the matter, and it was too heavy for the federal government to contain because they could not provide the evidence that that nailed that judgment, according to James Omotosho. I remember too that one of the appeal court judges, Balis Siku Aliu, I think she's a woman. I can tell you that has already passed a judgment in the appeal court. Remember, we are contemplating that Nnamdi was supposed to appear in court on 15th of last month. Unfortunately, that couldn't happen. But he has filed a motion. The process of appeal has continued in that regard. And I'm telling you, it's not just a surprise to anybody. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, because the authorities or the federal government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu has nothing to hold on to this time around, since the secret has been exposed. And remember, before now, the United Nations, the Congress, the U.S. Congress has ordered, Secretary of State Marco Rubio to, engage Nigerian government on that illegality against Nnamdi Kanu. Then the World Coalition of World Human Rights Prisoners, is a body that sees to the unjust treatment of prisoners, around the world. So they actually engaged. They stepped in. They came to Aso Rock and engaged the federal government immediately. What do you mean of that? And that got the government to begin to shift ground. Definitely, I can tell you now. Currently, now the cross appeal. There was a cross appeal when Nnamdi Kanu filed the appeal. There was a cross appeal by the federal government that projected the death sentence, against Nnamdi Kanu, and secondly, the law during that period was actually quashed. That's what it means is that the appeal court now have quashed the life imprisonment, have also quashed, the life threats, from the federal government, appeal. That's Awolowo. Awolowo is a federal government prosecutor. He's the one that filed that death threat against Nnamdi Kanu's case. Now, when the matter now got to the appeal, the appeal judges now sat down and looked at it very well and said, this was just a miscarriage of judgment. And I think James Omot also need to be summoned on that regard to come out and tell the whole world how he manipulated that. Nigerian government has nowhere to hide. I can tell you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his, Yoruba judges have nowhere to hide in this matter again. So what they are trying to do at this point in time is that, now that the appeal court has passed judgment on those cases, one, life imprisonment and death penalty, that Nnamdi Kanu must die, that life imprisonment could not stand. So the cross appeal, that's what I'm talking about now, everything has been totally quashed. A big victory for Biafrans. And what we're hearing is that, there's massive jubilation, all over the world. And now, celebrations, people are celebrating, there's massive, jubilation everywhere now. But the federal government are trying to be careful now because of how they are going to move Nnamdi Kanu now. I think it's already on ground. So what they did was to create, according to that report, how they are going to, make sure security is being beefed up because the world is already watching now. And if you look at the American government currently now, they are celebrating 250 years of independence, meaning they are the first nation in the world to become republic till this moment. So that signal, that Nnamdi Kanu should not be allowed to go under that kind of non-existence law that was used against Nnamdi Kanu, has triggered, has changed, a lot of things. So to avoid further embarrassment and possible, powerful interventions in Nigeria, what the federal government did now was to, the judgment has already been exposed. It's everywhere now. The appeal court judgment has been exposed everywhere now. So they want to be careful with the handle of Nnamdi Kanu, not to attract the wrath of the international community. And that is the message. The United Nations also has made a statement in that regard. Before now, the Arbitrary Committee on Human Rights, United Nations have issued a warning to the federal government on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu on that regard. And from what we are hearing now, he has quiet. They have quieted, just like the way they moved him to Sokoto prison, secretly without anybody knowing. What we are hearing now that, he has been moved to a fortified location in Abuja. That is the breaking news because of the interventions of the coalition of human rights on prisoners worldwide, the whole world. Then based on that judgment now, the appeal court has granted that appeal by Nnamdi Kanu that there's no basis for life imprisonment, and on that process too, the cross appeal by the federal government seeking his death, that he should be sentenced to death, has already been quashed by the appeal court. It's a breaking news anyway, and just to bring you more things, there's serious pandemonium between the hierarchy of judges in Nigeria, because Omotosho is just trying to find his way, out completely, but everywhere it seems to be fortified currently now. So what that means to Bola Ahmed Tinubu at government at this point in time, even though we are hearing that one of the judges that proclaimed his victory, in the Supreme Court has already gone blind, and the consequences of fear of Omotosho, where is the law, is another tension within the hierarchy of Nigerian judges now, because a lot of people are already assembling. Omotosho has gone spiritual completely because of what have happened to Sama Abubakar, Justice Sama Abubakar, who proclaimed Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023 as the presidential winner of that unfortunate election. And today, that very woman has automatically gone blind. And Omotosho is also in tears and in fears of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told him very clearly that, my God, you see, he invoked the spirituality behind the Biafran nation, the Biafran people, and which is Chukwu Okike Abiyama. That Chukwu Okike Abiyama, will punish you, or James Omotosho, for me. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually left that courtroom on the 20th of last year. I think November or December, should be November or December or thereabout, when that judgment, Omotosho passed that judgment. So I think it's a big one. I told you, in preparation of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to do, and once the federal government, finalizes that, and based on the international community, the Israeli government are in need of him. The U.S. government are in need of him because they are about to hand over the instrumentality of recognition of Biafra to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and that is what is happening currently now within the Aso Rock ISIS. And also, to let you know, there was also a United Nations, Mandela Law. They call it United Nations Mandela Law. A lot of people are not, which Nigeria is signatory to. That United Nations Mandela Law comes under the coalition of human rights on prisoners around the world. These are the people that came together and said this thing cannot stand anymore. A lot of things are being played on the ground concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. And I will keep on putting you on the notice concerning that. Then on the other note is that nobody is going to know the fate of what's it called? The judge there, Justice James Omotosho currently now, because a lot of things are being underground to get Omotosho to face ICC over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release is going to shake Nigeria, is going to shake the world, is going to shake every foundation, every gang up against the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, irrespective of what the unfortunate shadow leadership of the ex-DOS are doing currently now, liaising with the federal government, to the extent we are even hearing that, so a lot of things, but the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to all change that narrative. So I want you to celebrate. Yes, celebrate. It's a breaking news. You're going to hear about it, about any moment from now. It's already trending that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been released by the appeal court. That's what the appeal court. And in that process now, he will be moved to a location, a fortified location in Abuja, pending formalities of his, total going out, to engage the other world leaders on the issue of, Biafra. Then on that note, we are also hearing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also proposing an agreement which likely Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is definitely going to reject. And what is that agreement? That Nnamdi Kanu should accept regional government. Well, let us see how it's going to work out at the end of the day, because of all these things they are projecting currently now. It will depend on how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu look at it critically. But what we are hearing is that some of those documents Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has already thrown it away, insisting that what he wants is Biafra. And this is not about what the United Nations says now, or what any AU says now, or what ECOWAS says now. This is a matter of a decision within the structures of the world leaders to decide on Biafra. And we are hearing that Benjamin Netanyahu is already spearheading that a summit for recognition of Biafra. Yes, among other world leaders, trying to get other world leaders, like what the ambassador to UN and US, Israeli ambassador to UN, said very clearly that Biafra remains an ally of Israel, number one ally of Israel, and likely they are going to be the first nation to do the recognition of Biafra, followed by other nations, which I have also mentioned in my previous interviews or sections like this. So we are going to watch the supreme leader himself, after many years of legal struggle, walks the land of freedom again, which is the land of Biafra. Kudos to, I told you that the new DOS, this present DOS, like what Chris What said very clearly that Biafra will come on his hand, as the new years, and you can see the speed at which the man has actually went to. Well, we're not talking about all these guys that are in the shadows, collecting money, billions up and down to the extent that, they have rubbished the wife of Nnamdi Kanu. And today, the Biafra does not see Nnamdi Kanu as a worthy person. Again, pending when Nnamdi Kanu will definitely come out. I'm going to hear a lot of things that actually played out in the background, and how the issue of Simon Ekpa also came in at the end of the day. While we are still warming up and celebrating Nnamdi Kanu's appeal court victory, we are also expecting very soon that Simon Ekpa is going to be set free in Finland. As I speak to you now, more powerful leaders, diplomats, are meeting over Simon Ekpa in Finland ahead of Simon Ekpa's appearance in the appeal court in Finland. So it's a big one, and it's a big victory for Nnamdi Kanu and for IPOB and Biafra government in the exile. What we are going to be seeing any moment from now, after the appeal court judgment, is Nnamdi Kanu's freedom, and that is what it is currently now. So congratulations, to people who fought, tirelessly to make sure that the face of the struggle, the face of 85 million Biafrans all over the world, are the symbol of agitation and the symbol of all Biafrans, Igbos all over the world, is being granted and set free by the appeal court, quashing everything that Omotosho did, quashing everything Bola Ahmed Tinubu did, against that hero man of Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader, Muhammadike one of Biafra land. So if you look at what is actually going on now, don't think that it was federal government or Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is doing that. But you see that they came under serious pressure. They cannot be able to take it anymore, concerning the issue of reality and ground. You can see everybody now, everywhere, both Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, everybody's talking about Nnamdi Kanu. So it overwhelmed them, both locally and internationally, that the federal government cannot be able to hide anything in that regard. And that is actually what triggered, not that they cannot manipulate the same judgment on the appeal, but that is what triggered the narrative we are saying at the moment.